Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask. It's Friday, the 5th day of June. Today is National Gingerbread Day. Do you like gingerbread?
In moderation.
What do you like better, gingerbread house or gingerbread man?
Gingerbread man.
How about gingerbread puppy? You ever make one of those?
Not.
I bet it would probably taste the same. How about moonshine? It's National Moonshine Day today.
Okay.
Didn't you bring some moonshine home from like a relative or something?
Yes.
Your family were moonshiners back in the day, right?
They were.
So, apparently she's got like a family recipe or something. National Veggie Burger Day today, and it's National Donut Day.
Don't want to blow donut
That's
day.
from Brian Regan. He's one of our favorite comedians, and Heidi has every one of his jokes memorized.
I do.
I wish I was kidding, but she really does. Hey, coming up, it's not a Movie Star Monday, well, because it's a Friday, but we've got Edwina Findley Dickerson joining us. She's been in a bunch of movies, TV shows, a lot of fun stuff. Going to be chatting with her in just a bit. Many people have dabbled in the stock market for their very first time ever this year. If you're new to the market, but you don't want to learn things the hard way and the expensive way, I encourage you to subscribe to this free newsletter. You can get the inside track with Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com. Subscribe for free. If you change your mind, just unsubscribe. Sign up for free right now at marketbeatminute.com. That's marketbeatminute.com. Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A survey by the Treasury Department found that unemployment claims fell for the first time since the lockdowns began. So they're inching down. I think the last 2 weeks in a row now, I believe.
That's wonderful.
We got a link to the story if you want to read all about it. And yeah, it is good to see things going in the right direction.
Yep.
And for some, it's going faster than they wish. And there's others that are going, it's not going fast enough. But
Right.
I'm going to sit on the sidelines and just be grateful that things are
they're
going in the right direction. Yeah, there we go. Thanks for listening to surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Some credit cards have really high rates or big annual fees. Usually, people sign up for these when it's all they qualify for. If that sounds like you, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation changes, and you may qualify for a better credit card. Your current card hopes you don't think about it, but our site shows you many options to see if there's a better credit card for you. Check it out for free at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
This is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. A wild video shows drunk zoo visitor in Poland jumping into a bear enclosure and wrestling a bear.
Oh, jeepers, creepers.
23-year-old man arrested for brawling with a large brown bear named Sabrina in the Warsaw Zoo faces additional penalties because he wasn't wearing a mask. So,
Are you kidding?
No, they're tacking that one on there,
Is
too.
that a joke?
No, seriously. In the footage, the man who was intoxicated, they think, I mean, why else would you do this, is seen in the footage. He's already in the exhibit, attacking the female bear, Sabrina. He jumps the moat enclosure and follows the animal into the water. The animal follows him into the water. As a crowd watches the pair fight each other in the water for about a minute, he pushes the animal away before finally finding refuge on top of an artificial island. He was arrested, charged with animal cruelty, disturbing the peace, not wearing a mask, and also got in a little bit of trouble for being drunk at the time as well.
Wow.
So, just a bizarre story. That is what happens when your brain is on drugs. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Denzel Washington's son, John, says his father once gave his youth football team the famous speech from the movie Malcolm X before they took the field.
That'd be pretty cool,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
Well, it would be pretty cool. If you were on a football team to have like a movie star come and talk to you, that would be pretty cool in itself. But then to give, a speech like that would be really cool. Now, I'm not a huge James Bond fan, so I probably just lost man points for admitting that. But do you know who Britt Eklund is, a former James Bond girl?
No.
She's under fire this week because she says the era of the super hot Bond girl is over because producers want to be more politically correct, end quote. And there's people online that are not happy that she said that, and there's others that are going, okay, prove her wrong. So,
Right.
Again, I have no dog in this fight because I've seen like pieces of the movies, but I've never sat down and watched a full one.
I've watched a few of them, and I did like them when I would watch them, but I haven't seen. I've only seen maybe 2 or 3.
it's like I don't watch a lot of series because I'm like, I don't want to get hooked on this. So that's probably why I've avoided them. I'm like, I don't want to get hooked on it. What if I like it?
I'm not a huge action movie kind of a person. So.
I'll have to watch one. Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
We're here to make it better.
If you find that drug or alcohol problems are hitting you too close to home, you can get help. Maybe it's time for rehab. Your insurance may even cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. Get help for a drug or alcohol problem within 24 hours.
We're here to make it better.
Get more information at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now your scoop of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Tyson, Mike Tyson, the boxer. Remember him? He's been offered, this is probably old news by now, because I'm pretty sure this is from like last week, but he was offered a $20 million contract by the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships if he would make a comeback. His last pro fight, by the way, was over 15 years ago, and he lost to a guy by the name of Pete McBride. And on the internet, people were saying, hey, isn't that guy from those movies? No, it's a different guy. I think that's David McBride, maybe. It's a different McBride.
I don't know who either one is.
Yeah,
so.
from Eastbound and Down and all that. Different McBride, not the same guy. A survey finds 1/3 of husbands check with their wives before touching the thermostat. I say that because I don't even touch the thermostat. Heidi has actually told me, why don't you turn the heat up? Like, in the, when it's cold out, she's like, turn the heat up when you get up. Why do you do that? I'm like, I don't touch that thing. Because I remember touching it once, and then I didn't hear the end of it for like weeks. What do you think? We're made of money? I'm like, no, I thought it was okay to adjust the heat in my own home. I clearly was wrong. A Los Angeles artist wore a bikini made of the masks that you wear on your face.
Okay.
This lady was standing outside of a Trader Joe's to protest the lockdown. She claims the virus is a hoax and that everyone who believes in it is blind. So in one of the photos, she had like masks over her eyes as well. Okay. The interesting thing is to see all of the people watching her and keeping an eye on her and where they're looking at her, because she's got these masks on.
Of course. I mean, you can't do that.
I'm not really sure what the whole point was in the thing, but I've got a link to the story, and that'll probably be the most popular link clicked today, sadly. Illinois police arrested a man who groped a female reporter during a live TV broadcast. That's a bad idea. Then he shouted obscene phrases afterwards. The guy who did this was a 20-year-old who since has confessed to the crime. So originally I was like, no, I didn't do that. And they're like, you were on live TV, you dummy. He's like, okay, then maybe I did that. A video of a 103-year-old Massachusetts woman is hitting the internet, and it's like going viral. Was posted a couple days, maybe even 4 or 5 days ago. She beat the coronavirus.
Awesome.
And she's 103, and she celebrated with a Bud Light.
What a stud.
She should get She should get a lifelong contract with Bud Light. It wouldn't cost them a ton. And I bet they'd get a lot of exposure from that. She'd probably be thrilled, too. So it's a cool story, and I've got a link to that one, too. Authorities are reporting a grizzly bear attacked a mountain biker in the Montana hills. Whoa. Something you don't see every day. And a new report shows that Hertz Rent-A-Car paid their executive $16 million in bonuses and then filed bankruptcy. So they gave him $16 million for doing such a bang-up job. There you go, guys. You did great. Oh, by the way, we're going bankrupt now.
Right.
So a lot of folks not thrilled about that. Now, I don't know all of the details, so maybe there's a reason that made sense. If maybe they hadn't been paid for a long time trying to pull things through, and they finally said, well, we're going to at least pay you for all that time you didn't get paid. So what don't we know? I don't know. I've got a link to the story. If you want to read it, you sure can. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Do you pay too much for insurance? Have you looked around? Or are you too chicken? Don't be afraid to look around to see if you can find a better deal at InsuranceChicken.com. We make it super simple for you to see rates from several different companies, to see what they have to offer, all in one place. Peck out great insurance deals at InsuranceChicken.com. Is it time for you to cross the road? See if we can save you money each month at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Our guest today, Edwina Findley Dickerson, has been on a program with Tyler Perry on the Oprah Winfrey Network. It's If Lovin' You Is Wrong. Edwina, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am fantastic. Let's talk about this program. You've been on If Lovin' You Is Wrong for like 5 years now.
Yes, loving you is wrong. I don't want to be right. That was the song that Tyler Perry kind of based the show around. But it's been great. I mean, this is our 5th and final season, which is very, it's bittersweet. I mean, our cast has been together for 5 whole years. But we're definitely going out with a bang. Just working with Tyler Perry and Oprah during these last 5 years has been an absolute dream.
Think about that. Who better to team up with than Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry, right?
It's so true. They were always on my vision board, and I just believe so strongly that one day I'll work with them. And I feel like I'm just living in this incredible manifestation right now.
In addition to being an amazing actress, you're also a motivational speaker and the founder of Abundant Life U. Now tell me a little more about that.
Sure. Well, it started in New York City, and actually it began right after 9/11. It's kind of interesting now, like this whole bookending time, because a lot of times it's when our society is at its, place of darkness, needing hope, that we just open up our hearts to so many different places of inspiration. And so that's what Abundant Life became. We were all over New York City, and then we started traveling all over the country and really empowering people through vision, through goal setting, through literally joy sessions, right? I mean, dancing, singing, and fully coming into their best life, in these new ways. And so now it's exciting because even though we're collectively, globally, in a tough time right now, I think we're all pursuing some little, glimmer of hope. And so I'm just proud that Abundant Life is here. And also to be able to team with the Oprah Winfrey Network. We've been doing a little light, hashtag a little light on social media, where we all say, from Mariah Carey to Usher to myself, there's so many people, saying he's got the whole world in his hands. I just think this is really a great time for that type of motivation, for us to all stay encouraged.
And people can certainly use the encouragement. Let's talk a little bit about some of the movies from the big screen. You had a chance to work with Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell in the movie Get Hard. What was it like working with those two? That had to be kind of a fun team as well.
Absolutely hilarious. I'm surprised I still have a spleen at this point. Literally, there was this one scene where Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart and I and Kevin and my daughter are all at the dinner table, and I just couldn't even keep it together. I mean, we had to do so many takes because I just started bursting out laughing right in the middle of the scene. Will Ferrell, I've been a fan of his since I was a kid, since SNL. The way he improvises is just on another level, things you just don't see coming. And Kevin, of course, is just a fireball of comedy. So we had a wonderful time.
And another project here, Middle of Nowhere. Tell me about that one.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely, obviously, very different. Get Hard was a huge Warner Brothers studio comedy. And Middle of Nowhere is like this intimate, independent film. It was directed by Ava DuVernay, and it was her second movie. The first one, she paid $50,000 of her own money to produce, and this one, the budget wasn't that much more, but it was amazing. Myself, David Oyelowo, Armari Hardwick, Lorraine Chisson. I mean, it's a beautiful cast, and we ended up winning Best Director at Sundance, and that's how all of us ended up getting on Oprah's radar. And there's been so many projects later, and so many beautiful things obviously have blossomed since then. So I always encourage actors, sometimes you don't know what a project is going to do. A lot of times it's a labor of love, but it's beautiful when things happen in these serendipitous ways like Middle of Nowhere.
Absolutely. I appreciate you taking a little bit of time to chat with us. And again, congratulations on everything you've been working on and on the final season of If Loving You Is Wrong. And as people are watching that, I've been told that you kind of like to maybe watch that and also do a little tweeting.
I love connecting with the fans, so I'll definitely be live tweeting. So that's at Edwina Findley, Findley. And also love connecting with the fans on Instagram. So I can't wait to hear what you all think.
Well, you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Again, our guest today has been Edwina Findley Dickerson, and the program on the Oprah Winfrey Network just wrapping up here, the 5th and final season of If Loving You Is Wrong, a project she did with Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show. Many people have dabbled in the stock market for their very first time ever this year. If you're new to the market, but you don't want to learn things the hard way and the expensive way, I encourage you to subscribe to this free newsletter. You can get the inside track with Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com. Subscribe for free. If you change your mind, just unsubscribe. Sign up for free right now at marketbeatminute.com. That's marketbeatminute.com. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
Yeah, John.
Scientists were able to take a photo of an atom's shadow. So whether you're a professional photographer or not, you'll be impressed with the photo-related feat accomplished by a team of Australia's Griffith University back in 2012, using an electrical field to suspend a charged atom in a vacuum chamber. The team shot a laser beam at the atom and took a photo of the shadow it produced. While atoms have been photographed before, their shadows have never been photographed before, making this accomplishment unprecedented. So it's possible to take a photo of the shadow of an atom.
That, and aren't there other things they could be
could have
studying?
been working on
that would
like
be
curing
more
something, but
important?
they got that. It's all done. I took a photo of a shadow of a person. Does that count? No?
No.
I just had my flash wrong. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Some credit cards have really high rates or big annual fees. Usually, people sign up for these when it's all they qualify for. If that sounds like you, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation changes, and you may qualify for a better credit card. Your current card hopes you don't think about it, but our site shows you many options to see if there's a better credit card for you. Check it out for free at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline, Bolivia. We've not done a story from Bolivia,
I
have we?
don't believe we have, no.
Well, 3 knucklehead brothers from Bolivia let a lethal black widow spider bite them because they wanted to become Spider-Man.
Oh, my gosh.
All 3 men were hospitalized, and they're
You think?
young kids, so it's not like I should say men. All 3 teens were hospitalized.
Jeez.
They're doing better now, thank goodness. That, luckily, ended better than it could have. They could have died because they're lethal black widow spiders.
Ugh.
Lethal means it could kill you. So, wow, they're fortunate to be alive.
This is why we have to have instructions on toothpaste.
Yeah, warning labels and all that.
Good
It's
Lord.
a bad idea. This is a news headline from somewhere in this world.
We're here to make it better.
If you find that drug or alcohol problems are hitting you too close to home, you can get help. Maybe it's time for rehab. Your insurance may even cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. Get help for a drug or alcohol problem within 24 hours.
We're here to make it better.
Get more information at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A man who refused to wear a mask inside a government office was arrested on a pair of criminal charges, according to a court filing. 34-year-old John Luongo was collared Tuesday afternoon. I love that you notice that's in there more and more?
It's a new word.
I had never heard that before until like a year ago, maybe?
Isn't that more of a 20s slang?
But they've been collared. Anyway, following a disturbance in the tax collector's office. So he's charged with trespassing and resisting arrest, both misdemeanors. Administrators told police that she approached this gentleman after hearing him aggressively raising his voice in the office. Lori Bloom is the worker there. She said, I asked him to lower his voice and put a mask on in the office, and he wasn't having it. He was booked into the jail, released on a $1,000 bond. His rap sheet includes burglary, grand theft, and battery convictions as well, scheduled for arraignment at the end of the month, June the 30th. So it sounds like he's done some other not-so-smart things in the past, and this one here is like just a weird thing to have happen, but wow. That's why it landed right here in today's Weird News.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. A nude man broke into a locked Florida high school and apparently trashed the building, caused $100,000 worth of damage. This happened in a 22-hour vandalism spree. The mayhem began in the school just before 8 a.m. on Memorial Day when a man broke in and he spent an entire day wreaking havoc. Identifying him, and you'll be eligible for a $3,000 reward. Police tweeted. Surveillance footage from inside the high school that was closed because of the ongoing coronavirus pandemic and the fact that it was Memorial Day. So even if it was open, it wouldn't have been open.
Right.
Showed the man still in the building at 6 a.m. the next day. It says the suspect, who appeared to be wearing headphones, and that's it, broke computers inside and also put graffiti on the walls and flooded a section of the building. It's unclear if the suspect has a connection to the school. They're looking into whether he's a former student, but they've been unable to confirm that. So I don't understand why anybody would do that. That's a bad idea.
Really sad.
Yeah, it really is. It's in the show notes for today if you want to read all about it at johnandheidishow.com.
Do you pay too much for insurance? Have you looked around? Or are you too chicken? Don't be afraid to look around to see if you can find a better deal at InsuranceChicken.com. We make it super simple for you to see rates from several different companies, to see what they have to offer, all in one place. Peck out great insurance deals at InsuranceChicken.com. Is it time for you to cross the road? See if we can save you money each month at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for fake news or Florida. Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it hashtag fake news made up to trick you and amuse me? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, fake news or Florida. A Florida man was recently arrested for watering his neighbor's lawn during a water restriction period in an attempt to get the neighbor in trouble. Fake news or Florida?
Fake news.
It is fake news.
How would it get his neighbor in trouble?
Well, if he was watering his neighbor's lawn
Oh.
during the...
Yeah, no.
It all made sense to me.
Did you make that one up?
No, okay, yeah. No, I didn't do a good job, I can tell you that. When she gets it right, it's because I'm really bad at this. So if you've got some good fake news or Florida stories you want to share, you can do that through our website, johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this qualifies as good news. Comes your way courtesy of hashtag gift card challenge, which also happens to be good news. All of the details on that at giftcardchallenge.org. Here's the headline. It's just a cool headline. Hawaiian fishermen donated 220 pounds of tuna to a local hospital. Now, when you go fishing,
That's great.
like
Tuna
these,
is
it is. So I'm going to see. It might even tell us how much this is worth. But the tuna was caught by a fisherman. It caught 2 yellowfin tuna,
Wow.
220 pounds total, donated to the local hospital. Second, it says here the tuna was sent to a seafood distributor who cleaned, cooked, and prepared the tuna into more than 300 poke bowls, P-O-K-E. Am I saying it right, or is it poke bowls?
I don't know.
Which are delivered then to the hospital's medical center. One of the fishermen, Kyle Nakamoto, said his team was inspired to do good work for their community after witnessing another local fisherman, a 104-year-old, 104,
Wow.
regularly catch fish and donate them to strangers in need. It was an amazing opportunity, he said. Giving away 2 whole yellowfin tuna is a really big thing. This is top-of-the-line grade A tuna. We just wanted to do something for the workers at our local hospital to thank them for everything they are doing for us.
That's
and you
great.
see a lot of folks in their scrubs that look pretty darn happy here. They've got masks covering their smiles, but you can see their entire face is happy. You can just tell.
awesome.
So happy. Medical professionals received the donation. Were very touched by the gesture. Says on here they're grateful for the donations. I was looking to see if it says how much that was worth, and it doesn't. Isn't that weird? If you were doing that story, wouldn't you have put the value in there?
I think I probably would have.
I would have too, because it'd be one thing like if you're thinking...
Maybe it's not about dollar amounts. It's
Oh,
just
I understand
about
that.
the gift.
Absolutely. You know what, Heidi? You're absolutely right. I would agree with that 1,000%. But I guarantee you, while I'm saying that, you're saying, hey, it was 220 pounds of tuna. People are like, oh, that's really cool. How much is that worth?
Yeah,
Like,
a lot, because tuna is
It
crazy
is.
expensive.
But we don't know how much. They should have put it in the story. I'm going to send a letter to
It's
my
okay.
congressman.
It's okay.
Probably not them. All right, time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.